Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I am Badruddin Muhammad, and this is the English news program on Somaliland National Television. These are the stories making headlines. The President of Somaliland and senior delegation arrived at Turkey. Minister of Information opens a conference on ethical principles of journalism. Berlusconi joins a coalition. President of Somaliland, Ahmed Mohamed Mahmoud Silayo, accompanied by a senior delegation, arrived at Istanbul, Turkey.
Somaliland's president was warmly welcomed by high officials of the government of Turkey at the airport. The president was also accompanied by First Lady Amina Wiris, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mohammed Bihi Yunus, Minister of Commerce and International Investment, Dr. Mohammed Abdullahi Umar, Minister of Energy and Mineral Resources, Hussein Abdi Duale, and other top government officials. Somaliland's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mohammed Bihi Yunus, giving an exclusive report about the agenda of their visit to Somaliland National Television, stated that one of the main objectives of these meetings are to discuss the investment and trade between the government of Somaliland and Turkey's government. These meetings are expected to take place for a duration of the coming days.
Minister of Information, Culture and National Guidance Abdullahi Akuse opened a conference on ethical principles of journalism.
Somaliland's Minister of Information, Culture and National Guidance Abdullahi Akuse opened the training conference for private and public media outlets. The minister, sitting alongside representatives of journalism associations, opened the conference with initial remarks. He stated that journalism is a key component of democracy. It's a form of maintaining good governance and, when utilized effectively, plays an instrumental role in national development initiatives. The Minister of Information, Culture and National Guidance was keen to add that it's essential to focus on the media sector of Somaliland, one of the most open and free media sectors in the world, and the necessity of supporting these private and public media outlets with capacity-building conferences such as this one. Minister of Information, Culture and National Guidance Abdullahi Akuse reiterated that the government of Somaliland supports a free, fair and transparent media sector, and the participants of this conference should take advantage of the opportunity offered.
Director General of Fisheries and Marine Resources, Muhammad Elmi Adam, granted an exclusive interview on sector meetings held so far.
The Director Generals of Fishery and Marine Resources, speaking on the issue, stated,
Sector meeting is the economic sector meeting. It's one of the pillars of Somaliland national development, and program. And it consists of the Minister of Fisheries, Minister of Finance, Minister of Commerce, Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Livestock, Minister of Industries, including Central Bank, including Chamber of Commerce, and all international and UN organizations who are working for economic sector development, as well as the private sector. So, it is one of the main sectors that National Development Plan of Somaliland consists, and the Director General of Ministry of Fisheries is the chairperson of the sector. And it is we just, if for 2 months we have good when we come together, what we share is, for example, is the achievement is of we have also subsectors. That's a fisheries subsector, that is a livestock subsector, that's agricultural subsector, that's industry subsector, and the fifth one is the service and and financial institutions, which is part of the remittances and banks and all private sector, all that economic sector. So what that subsector takes place monthly. Then we came every 2 months. One is to share the information and the experiences and the achievements and the plans. So in fact, it's very progressing and it's way forward, of course.
He continued to elaborate on progress made thus far. Director General Mohammed Elmi Adan stated,
Of course, yes, we gain. We gain, for example, to establish subsector, meetings where, for example, all people who are working in the fishery sector came together. What you have been achieved, what is your plan, what are the challenges you have got in that area, and how do you overcome that challenges, and how can we work together. And all this activity is going to be done to achieve better economic, success for Somaliland people. So that all stakeholders about the sector, when they came together, and we for example, we're sharing our experiences, and all that, they have to help and they have to support the economic pillar of Somaliland government and in the bigger sector of economic. Yes.
His final remarks on the ongoing cooperation between the international community and Somaliland sectors was one of strong cooperation. Director Generals of Fisheries and Marine Resources also added.
In fact, if let me give you a small background about the history. There is a Somaliland National Development Committee, which is chaired by Minister of National Planning, and where all international, UN, private sector, everybody is part of it, even civil society are part of it. Then they have got sub-sector committees. For example, they have got big role in the international union organization in the sector, because of in terms of job creation, in terms of capacity building, in terms of information sharing, in terms of I don't know whether you have good background information about the Somaliland Development Fund. Somaliland Development Fund, where all our funds is going to be pooled together, and stakeholders from UN and, for example, donors, and, for example, the Somaliland government and civil society work together. So that is the bigger picture, and subsectors are under that. And in fact, they have got good role. If I come shortly to your question, they have got good role for economic sector and the other sectors.
The Ministry of Information, Culture and National Guidance invited the media to witness the stone-laying ceremony of a new hall.
Somaliland's Minister of Information, Culture and National Guidance, Abdullahi Akuse, alongside Director General Abdirashid Yusuf and Director of Television, Khadr Ali Gas, laid foundation stone for a hall. Minister of Information, Culture and National Guidance, Abdullahi Akuse, informed the media that the foundation stone being placed today is for the erection of a hall expected to provide space for over 300 people. He also added that the hall will be used by Somaliland National Television, Radio Hargeisa, public and private institutions on any subject matter that is for the betterment of the nation as a whole. The Minister of Information commended the funding partner USAID and IOM for the role they continue to play in developing Somaliland's ministries.
You are still watching the English news program on Somaliland National Television, the only Somali-speaking channel with an English news program. And now for our international headlines in detail. There continues to be high drama in the Italian Senate ahead of a confidence vote.
There has been high drama in Italian Senate, just as Prime Minister Enrico Letta's coalition was due to face a crucial confidence vote. Silvio Berlusconi has performed a complete U-turn and declared his party's support for the government. The vote had been provoked after Berlusconi ordered his ministers out of the coalition. Earlier, Letta made an impassioned plea to senators to pass the vote of confidence in this fragile left-right coalition. He said the reforms being brought in were virtually important to the country and must be continued. Berlusconi's controversial U-turn came after several leading figures in his party threatened to defy him and back the government. Critics had accused the media tycoon of putting his own interests before those of the country. All this comes against the background of ongoing crisis in Italy, which is struggling to exit the longest recession in a decade.
That's the end of our news. Until next time, goodbye. في أمان الله.